What's up, chums? Sharky here, and welcome back to the Shark Bites podcast. Today I'm with Alex Radioactive, who is a dear friend of mine. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How about yourself?
Pretty good. I was a little sad today because I found out I wasn't getting a raise and I thought I was
Oh,
at my
well,
job.
well,
But
they need to give you a raise anyways.
I know. I've only been there for like 2 months. But
Well, instead of one chum bucket, it should be two chum buckets a week.
pay me in chum.
Just give me shark food.
It's a
Fish.
nice job. I've only been there for like 2 months, but everybody's been nice and it's
It's good.
a change of pace. It's hard to find a job that you like.
Tell me about it.
Ugh.
I'm on the job hunt myself.
Yeah.
No luck there yet, but I'll find something. But what is it? It's fish are friends, not food, or is it fish food
No,
are
that's
food?
right. That's correct.
Okay. It's been a while since I've seen finding him,
Me too.
but
So
uh,
how's your week been?
hot.
Yeah.
It's actually cooling off, and thankfully, gas prices are starting to come back down. So that's
Yeah,
always
for us too.
we're finally below $4. The other day, I got gas for 2.89 because I used some of my reward
Oh,
points.
wow. Nice.
So that was nice.
Yeah. I think ours is like 4 something still,
Ouch.
but
Well,
it's
I have a
lower.
Jeep and a truck, both
Mm.
gas guzzlers. So I don't
Yep.
like going to the gas pump. Tell me you're broke without telling me you're broke. I'm a furry that has two gas guzzlers.
Yeah, it's been like 110 every day here.
Yeah, what I think it was like 90 degrees today here. Let me double check.
It never rains here either, so like it's
Yeah,
always
but
hot.
you're in Texas where it's more of a dry heat.
I know. I'm a
So
fish. I need water.
yeah, see here the humidity will kill you.
Yeah,
And
you can't breathe.
yeah, it's 90 here. I don't know what the humidity, what 0%
Mm.
precipitation in the forecast, but it doesn't tell me what the humidity is on this app I got. So uh oh, it's 40% humidity today. So
Ew.
you is right. But so how's your week otherwise?
Other than the raise thing, it's been good, easy for the most part.
Oh, that's
Um
awesome. I don't know if you play Forza, but the new Hot Wheels update came out on Forza for those that play Forza Horizon 5.
Honestly, the only thing I've been playing lately is Dying Light. I don't know if you've ever played that.
I have not.
It's really fun.
So the other day I was started a new playthrough on my YouTube channel with Legends Arceus, and
Yeah.
I was on my main account when trying, just playing with my streaming stuff, trying to get everything set right.
Mhm.
I caught a shiny Zoroark.
Ooh.
Not even trying, just one popped up. That game has so many shines. But no, I'm still stuck on Pokemon Legends Arceus and Forza. And if the new update ever comes out for GTA, I might play that again.
Yeah, I haven't really been playing Pokemon, but like I want to buy that game, but like I have no money right now. So
I understand that.
it looks hard though, like to catch
So
stuff.
so we this is where we insert the, like where they used to do those. You can the ASPCA or whatever used to do that. You can feed a dog for like $5 a day. Just so everyone that listens to this knows, you can feed a shark or a sharky for 4.99. Feeds a sharky for a day.
Well, hopefully like when I get my new PC and stuff, I can play some more like Steam stuff.
Yes. Well, VR chat's where I. It's funny. I got this VR headset, and literally the only thing I use it for is VR chat. I play no other VR games.
I play Beat Saber sometimes.
I want to, as much of a big Star Wars fan as I am, I'm surprised I have not bought that game yet.
It's fun every once in a while, but mostly VR chat, you're right.
It's VR chat. It's like we get to be our furry selves, and since
I
I don't have a
know.
fursuit anymore,
Yeah.
I need to get my new avatar. Since Alex is now pink and blue, just like my character Ellie.
Mhm.
I need to get that character in the game because people are still struggling when they see the old Alex design
Yeah.
in there. That's why I switched to that just basic German Shepherd avatar for my videos and stuff because it's like everybody keeps struggling and not realizing I sold my old suit and I
Mhm.
don't use that design anymore.
Yeah. One of my friends is wanting to get their persona made in VR chat, but it's kind of a toss up. Like there are people that will do models super cheap, but that's
You get
just
what you
it. They're
pay. It's
super
like
cheap.
fursuits.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like fursuits. It's what you get what you pay for.
Yep.
Um, Speaking of fursuits, want to get on onto the main topic?
Yeah, 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 of course. So today's topic, we're gonna talk about, I guess you could call this like recent news, I guess, or like a recent topic that's come up, I think stronger than it ever has before. Um, so I guess like what happened was there was a fursuit at Anthrocon 2022. Do you know when that was? What month that was?
Anthrocon's always first weekend of July.
Oh, okay. So yeah, pretty recent
It was
then.
just a few days ago,
Yeah.
couple weeks.
So this fursuit in question had some features, I guess you could call them, that
I
were
mean,
exaggerated.
so the suit has s- very enlarged breast and thick thighs, I guess is the best way to word it.
Mhm.
So this suitor's been around for a while. They're not new. And there's a lot of people like hating on the suit. And the way I look at it is if you don't like it, you don't have to you don't have to go up to that suitor and say, "Hey, I want a photo with you." If you don't like their suit, then don't do it. Um, but I find it kind of funny with all the hate this person's getting because it's like we're a fandom based on acceptance and loving one another and all
Mhm.
this. And I've seen out of all the videos I've seen on TikTok, YouTube, and going around social media of this, the hate videos, it just kind of baffles me because if you do any kind of research on half the people that are hating on this person, they give a much worse impression, I guess, of the person than who he really is. If I'm saying that right. The
What are
suitor.
what are they
Oh, go ahead.
mostly what are they mostly mad about? Like just that it's
Because they think so they're looking at it like this that the suitor is they're sexualizing the suitor, not the suitor making it a sexual situation,
Mhm.
but these people are saying because it has big breasts and thick thighs that oh it's got to be it's a sexual thing and there's kids present. Well,
Mhm.
I'll be the first to say that I've seen this suit in person multiple times at many different cons and there's nothing wrong with this suit. I've seen far worse things from suitors, no names or characters being referenced. That I'm just going to leave that out for people's imaginations at cons. And this person, literally, there's nothing wrong with their suit. Yes, they have big breasts and thick thighs, but if you're going to get mad because someone's got a fursuit like that that has, it doesn't even have nipples showing.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing bad showing.
You've got
Um,
you've got me curious though, like you said you've seen worse.
yeah, seen a lot worse. We'll just say this:
Okay.
some con goers tend to wear more revealing clothes than what you're seeing with this suit.
Mhm.
I've been to cons where I have seen people's rear ends on full display. I've seen where they barely had anything covering, where you can still see the front side, as well
Mhm.
as I've seen some women showing off their breasts walking around at
Like
cons.
completely?
Yes, and
Oh
what they do
my.
is they'll have like some kind of like spaghetti strap thing, and they'll
Mm.
cover themselves when security or anyone
And
that
then
would get
take it
onto them,
off later.
and they do it. And just like there's been cons. Again, I'm not going to mention no cons, no names.
No, it's fine.
There's
Yeah.
there's cons where people literally have marital relations, I would say, in the stairwells of these cons. So I'm sorry, this person is completely covered. There's nothing showing bad, and the person does not interact with kids. Like they don't go up to kids, interact with minors. So literally, they just hang out with their own group,
Mhm.
that they know. So literally, the people that are in the wrong here are the ones that are sexualizing it. But then again, me being the honest person I am, and I am a very honest person, whether people like me or not.
Me too.
The same people that are having this issue, they fall under a few different categories. They're only a furry because it's a trendy thing,
Mhm.
so they're not a true furry. They are one a minor and have no clue what they're doing, and they're following what we call in the fandom white knights. They're just
Mhm.
being white knights, following what everybody else is doing, trying to get clout. And the last one is they're just upset that someone else is doing something that makes them happy and it affects them or no one else in no other way. Um, because literally there are people that they feel like because their life isn't where they want it to be, they'll sit there and they have to go and attack another person that's having, a good time being happy.
I know
So
exactly what you mean, yes.
yeah, I get a lot. Well, you follow my YouTube channel. You know I get a lot of hate.
Mhm.
You know what I say about it. Okay, hate me.
Mhm.
um, so way I look at it is those people just they're throwing hate at this person, but what they don't realize that what they're doing is there's an old term, and I thought it was BS back in the day, but there's no such thing as bad publicity, and I cannot say that word. Wow, I really am a child today. Um,
It's okay.
but there's no such thing as bad marketing, bad publicity, bad coverage. Because the thing about it is, yeah, there's going to be people that hate on this person, but this person's also got a lot more followers because of all this.
Mhm.
Because everybody's like learning the true who this person is because they're like, well, you can think that if you want.
Mhm.
So my honest opinion is there's nothing wrong with the suit. I've seen the photos. Like I said, there's far worse things I've seen at cons. And I'm talking. I've seen this stuff like during normal hours, not like the after dark hours.
Yeah.
And I often think a lot of people in the fandom forget that the furry fandom didn't start out with kids in it.
And
Uh,
that was something that I was talking about with a few other friends of mine is that people try to ignore the fact that back in the day, like cons were like primarily sexual in nature, I would say. I mean, in the documentary that uh
So
the
I'm
Fandom documentary,
I'm not gonna disagree, but I'm not going to agree.
I guess it was
So
more prevalent. Like they were selling porn like very openly and
yeah,
there weren't kids there.
well, I got in the fandom when I was 5 years old back in '97, and I'll tell you right now, I can't really think of very many cons that I actually got to do anything other than just, hang out in a hotel room with my older siblings who were also furries.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, now that I think about it, it's like no, back then there really wasn't a lot of stuff that was, a lot of underage furries. They we are all furries at from young age because that's where we
Mhm.
start our interest, but it's kind of like a lot of other things. It starts at a young age, but it doesn't really mature into anything until later in life. But yeah, it's only been recent years that a lot of cons have went more family friendly and stuff. Like I'd say in the last 20 years, maybe. Everything
So
before that.
so
Oh, go ahead.
let me ask you this. Do you think that in the future, possibly, that there might be a divide where there's kid only conventions and there's 18 plus conventions, like more of them. I know that they do exist now, but there's only a few of them that I know of.
So I don't know of any cons that are like under 18 and under. I don't know of any of those kind of cons. I do know there are 18 plus cons. I actually went to my I'll say my very first one, but I may have went to one before not knowing it.
Mm.
But my very first 18 plus con I went to was MCFC Motor City Fur Con in Michigan. It's a really good con. I actually really enjoyed myself there. And I will say one thing. I didn't go to their last one, but it was the one before last. They had like I think it was like October last year or something like that. That I went to because they had that, and then 6 months later did another one. I feel sorry for that staff, but anyways, back on topic. I will say one thing: going to an 18 plus con versus going to a con where there's actually kids present, there is far less drama. I am going to freely admit it. The drama in the fandom does stem from there is a lot more underage people in the fandom.
I know exactly what you mean.
I'm
Yes.
not saying I'm not saying all kids are bad. I'm not
No,
saying kids should be banned from the fandom by no means.
but I feel like a
Uh,
lot of drama is like egged on and like started by minors.
I don't know if I would say it started by minors or agged on. I would probably say it more like they don't know. Um, so, and what I mean by that is like we'll talk about the Chinese knockoff fursuits. A young kid will work for their parents. Their parents don't care about furries and most likely don't like the fact that their kid is a furry. But they'll save up and get the money to buy their first fursuit. Well, guess what? They're going to go search on the internet and they're going to find the Chinese knockoffs. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
350 bucks for a full suit. That's cheap. That's great. That'll work for me. It looks cute in the photos. Those kids don't know. Well, they buy this and then someone in the fandom says, "Hey, that's a knockoff." And it could be either an older person or another younger person in the fandom and or the person who bought the suit. Either one can technically start the fight
Mm-hmm.
over that. Unfortunately, it's when you have kids, there's going to be more of that from that perspective. But that being said, there's also you got the crap. I can't think. Oh, well, he stole my design,
Mm-hmm.
or she stole my design, or they stole my design. Whatever their pronouns are, stole my design. That happens a lot. Like so, interesting fact, Allie, you were actually the person who did the first no, second art because the ref sheet of
Mm-hmm.
Allie was a gift art from somebody else. But you do a lot of Allie's art, and I did how I did the butterflies on the arms. Well, apparently there's another suitor out there that's pink as well,
Mm.
and they have butterflies on their arm. I didn't know. I've never seen this person's art or suit.
Is it the
So
same like species and everything?
so no, they're a bat, not a
Oh,
dog.
okay.
So my ref sheet does kind of look a little bit more like a bat, but it's
But
not.
people were saying you copied it?
This young girl and tried saying I stole her character.
Mm.
And I talked to her. I'm like, I don't even know who you are. I've never seen your art, never seen anything. Literally, all the designs for Ellie are things that just popped into my head one day that I thought would look cool together. And she sent me some of her ref sheets and stuff, some of the art she drew herself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it turns out uh, her character was like the day she made her character was like literally 3 or 4 months after the first time I had you do art for
Mm.
me. So I was able to show her it's like, hey, here's the date I commissioned this
There
piece,
you go. Yeah.
So it's like this predates when you told me your character was made, for one. And for two, there were some other differences. Their blue was a different color blue, and they didn't have the blue on the top wings like Allie does. So
Mm-hmm.
talk to them. But like at first that person, that young kid, because I found out they were a minor, was they did a Beware and they put all that out. I have a lot of Bewares on me. It's funny. I'm at the point now you can't be a furry if you don't have at least two Bewares on you.
You know what? Honestly, that kind of reminds me of a experience that I had with someone on Furry Amino. You remember that app?
Yeah, I had it for a whole 3 days and then I deleted it and I've never went back to it. Too many kids on there, too many scammers, and it's fine.
Yes, yeah. I had commissioned I'll tell you what happened. I've told this story on my channel before. Those of you listening might remember this, but I commissioned someone who I thought was an adult for a tail, like a fursuit tail. Um this was before I had my suit, I think, at the time. Um my current one. And they were only charging like $30 to make it, and I wanted like a shark tail, like
Mhm.
the one I have. Um and I showed them like references, images, and like my ref sheet and all that, and they were like, "Yeah, I could do it for $30." So I sent them the money and everything, and um I always use PayPal so I can get my money back if I need to.
PayPal goods and service.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's just smarter to do it that way, but um this whole thing blew up with them because they showed me like a work in progress image of the tail, and this thing was like I don't even know how to describe it. Like it was like a ball of fabric. That's basically what it looked like. Obviously they did not have the experience that they said they did, because
Hmm.
they had told me that, like, yeah, I've made a couple tales, and they showed me pictures that of it, of stuff that they had made, and then they made this, and I was just like, that doesn't look like what you showed me. So I opened a case with PayPal. I tried to work things out with them, and they were like, no, I don't want to give you a refund. Let me just remake the tale. And I'm like, no, I really want a refund because I don't trust you, you know?
Yeah.
But I didn't know that they were like 16 until later. And that
Oh
was,
no.
yeah, yeah, very inexperienced. And I wasn't trying to be like hateful about it. Like, I just wanted my money back.
Yeah.
But they kept trying to like weasel out of, like, oh, I'll just remake it. And they would try to send me a picture of it remade, and it didn't look any different. So
Uh,
I got my money back, but then I kind of did something that I wish I hadn't, because I feel like it was a little far for, because they were a minor. I
mhm.
basically made a warning video on them on my channel and said, like, do not commission this person. Like,
Yeah.
they're like, they must be like using fake pictures to like sell fursuit tails and stuff, because their quality is just not what they say it is. And
Yeah.
I thought I was being helpful. And
Well, there Bewares and even warning videos are helpful. It's just that you get those people that make them over he said she said crybaby stuff, if you know what I mean.
well, what happened was it actually blew my channel up. That video actually went somewhat viral, I would
Oh,
say,
nice.
because I had like 15,000 views on it, like within a week. And I was like, what is going on? Because I was still
Well,
like new to YouTube at the time, and I only had like 50 subs. And people, what was happening is that people were subbing to me, and they were on my side, and they were like trash talking the person, like the maker and
yeah.
stuff. And they actually like found their page on Furry Amino and started sending hate to this person, which I said not to do, but nobody listens.
Yeah,
But
that's another thing. It's like when a Beware and stuff it comes out, it's like the person who does a Beware, they're not doing it because they want you to go attack or hate people. They're doing it so you know not to, to kind of be cautious if you're going to do business
mhm.
with them. Because I've done business with people that I've seen Bewares on it that were, true, and then it's been a couple years later, and they made amends. You know, Beware doesn't mean this person is just bad for the rest of their life. No one's bad for the rest of their life. Anyone can change.
But that's how a lot of people in the fandom treat people with
Yeah.
bewares.
It's the cancel culture, and
Mhm.
honestly, that I'm just gonna speak freely and
Sure.
honestly, the cancel culture in this fandom and the all the people that are like, if I get hate for this, I'm okay with it because this is my opinion. And I don't care, but the cancel culture in the fandom and the people that are like, you got to agree with me and everything I do and my political beliefs and all this. If you got to be, you have to be just like me. I'm sorry, that kind of is like what defeats the purpose of being a furry. The furry fandom is, we're all from different walks of life. We're all different people,
Mhm.
and we all have different beliefs. If we were all the same, then why would we want to be a furry? Because we're all based off of our own anthropomorphic characters, our characters that we make. So if we're going to be true furries, I think we should just accept everyone's, from different paths.
I agree. Yeah, I think people freak out a little too much over little
Or
things.
yeah, over the things that ultimately are going to go whatever way they're going to go in life, and we do our part and just keep moving on.
Well, luckily this story has a happy ending. So,
Oh, that's good. That's already
but yeah, so people were like going to their page and like saying you're a horrible person, like how could you do this to Sharky and I'm never commissioning you, blah blah blah. And the person who I made the video about reached out to me and was like, "You've ruined my life, like people won't leave me alone. Please take down the video." And and they told me like, that they were young and like just starting out in like fursuit making and stuff. And I told them, I was like, you have to say that then. You have to not lie about, you know, your
your ability.
experience. Yeah, your ability. Don't like, don't lie to people about it. And they were like just defensive at first. And so what I did was I was, tried to be the better of the two, and I took the video down, which honestly, I'll be honest with you, I did not want to take the video down because it was going viral and I was getting views and money off of it. Just saying.
So I'm just gonna be upfront and honest. I would not have taken the video down. However, if I did take it down, I would have remade it. I would still have the information of like what my experience with this person was, but I would also say on there, hey, this person has reached out. We have made amends or whatever. But the biggest thing there, like the only thing I would made a suggestion to you to do to that person when you talk to him is, explain to him like, hey, if you're a new fursuit maker, a lot of fursuit makers will literally start on making a commission, and definitely a new one. Like, there's nothing wrong with starting somewhere. I bought, what some people would call a very bad fursuit, which to me it was awesome. It was still my character.
Mhm.
They did the best they could. It's just, it's all depends on the price. You get what you pay for. But that also being said, new fursuit makers, if I had to give them any advice, I would not take commissions until you get really good at doing what you do. Make pre-mates, sell your pre-mates, then go into taking custom commissions once your skill, you've practiced enough and you got comfortable with where you're at, if that makes sense.
I mostly took it down because I felt bad about it,
Yeah, and
and
I get that.
I just like it was keeping me up at night. Like that's how bad it
Yeah,
was.
but you got a good heart. That's why. I'm
Yeah.
just I'm just a mean person.
I'm just a meanie.
I'm just mean. I'm honest. That's I'm honest to a fault. Like, I have literally made people hate me because I won't lie to them. But let's since we're on the fursuit debacle, I actually had a commission to fursuit that was really bad. My husband, who's literally sitting right behind me, he knows all about this one. It was the second fursuit I have ever commissioned while being with my husband. Um, so what's the first thing when you get a fursuit? Oh, you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, my thing went black. Um, but what's the first thing uh, a fursuit maker asks if you're getting a full suit? They'll ask you for something that you have to make and send to them.
Mm,
a DTD.
Oh, right. Yeah. I did one of those, but it was with my friend Ree and it was at her house. So like
Yeah.
I've never had to like send one, I guess.
Well, that's you're lucky. So a duct tape dummy. So this person never asked for one, and I asked them, "Hey, do you need me to make a duct tape dummy and send
For
it
a
to you?"
full
They said,
suit? Yeah, that's kind of important.
"Yeah," and they said no. I'll send you a sheet, and these are all the measurements I need. So they had a lot of measurements. Literally, I think I get measured
Oh
every
my
inch of my body and had to
goodness.
send it to them. Well, I did everything on the paper, word for word, what they wanted. Fast forward 3 months later, because they didn't have any queue. They were new, but they weren't new. Like they had been making suits for a few years. Their suits were cute. Love their suits. But the suit came in. I'm 5'11", about 230 pounds. My husband is 6 foot what, 4? 6'3", and he's a little over 300 pounds. We could both climb in this fursuit
Oh
together.
my god.
Like the body was so massive. I actually have a photo somewhere of me using, the fursuit harnesses.
Yeah.
Um, I had
Using
to
that to hold it on?
I had to wear it where the straps that go around your waist was under my legs, so that way the suit would just stay up and not just drag the ground.
Oh my god.
The head of this fursuit was so massive. I swear, me and my husband could literally put our heads side by side and put it on. And I'm like, they think I'm a big boy.
Yeah. Overestimated a little bit.
So I sent him the thing, and I'm like, I don't know how you got this measurement. And I found out later on they were very new.
Mm.
Well, I ended up selling that suit to another furry I know, and they had a friend that makes suits that was able to alter it a lot.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, you just have to cut part of it off and sew it up.
she made like she made 2 or 3 bodysuits out of that one
Are you
body.
serious?
It's like she was able to salvage that bodysuit and make 2 or 3 bodies. Yeah, I'm sure they were
Damn.
they were very small, but still, it
That's
was like
crazy.
mind blowing. It's like,
Well, what did they
ow.
say? What did they say when you
Well, these are the measurements you
asked
sent,
them?
and I looked at what I sent them on the measurements, and I'm like, these are not the measurements I sent. Because I keep anytime I do business with anyone, I keep. It's even like with you when I commission you for art. I keep screenshots of everything we talked about, so I
Mhm.
remember what I've said to this person and what I've sent to them, so that way if there's questions later, it's like, okay, I said this, but because how many times have I commissioned you for art, and I'd be like, I'll tell you everything I want on the character, but I always forget to tell you what like background stuff, and
Mhm.
you'll ask me like, "Do you want this in the background?" And I'm like, "Oh," and because I go back and look and make sure I didn't say something to you different, and then it's like, okay, because normally at that point it's like, yeah, I trust you, you just do whatever.
Well, it helps me too, like to have it all on Telegram because then I could just,
You go back
scroll
to
up.
it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the main reason I take screenshots, I don't really do it so much with you as I do with people I don't know when I do
Mhm.
business with them. The reason I do that is if anything ever is said, they can't go in there and delete comments and try to say I said something I didn't say or did something I didn't do.
I
So it's
wonder I
cover
wonder
your
if
own butt.
that person I wonder if that person was using the right unit of measurement.
I don't know. I mean,
Inches?
maybe well, that's the thing. I was sending everything in inches like they asked.
Maybe they were using feet.
Uh, some yard. Well, as big as that thing was, I think they were using yards.
Oh, yeah, that would do it.
But oh, I like I said, I find it funny. Like every time something bad happens in the fandom like that, I always try to turn it into a positive because
Yeah.
you gotta. It's a learning experience, and everybody's got different things, I guess. So
I will say, like, and I've talked about this in my past videos, just I have learned so much from the time where I joined the fandom up till now, like in four-ish years. Like, I will say I don't think about people in the fandom like I used to. Because when I first got into it, I was really naive and like trusting of everybody.
Yes, you were.
And yes, I was, you know.
I
But
remember. I remember the first time we met. Still, so.
yeah, but now, after like, being admin for a few people and just going to meets and stuff, I am way less trusting now than I used to be. I don't know if you heard me talk about it or if we ever talked about it, but I was a co-admin for an art group, like a furry art group here in Austin, and we actually had like a registered sex offender that would attend meets and wasn't supposed to be there basically. but
Yeah.
but like after that whole thing, and like the other admins were debating kicking him out of the group, and I really questioned a lot of people's moral compasses on that one, because it had something to do with a minor. And
So I don't know
yeah.
the detail. I don't know the details of your particular one. Um. So if from what you're saying there, it had something to do with the minor, that's would be an automatic kick from my standpoint.
See, that's what I thought too, but the people that I was adminning with were on the fence about it, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Well, the only way that some way somehow they could justify that not kicking that person, and this is me really pulling at strings trying to defend them, but for me again, it would be an automatic kick. I wouldn't even ask questions. But the only thing I could think of them trying to, justify that would be is was he a minor when whatever happened
No.
and what okay, so that's an automatic kick. No, no ands, ifs, or buts. So and that's like I said, that's I would kick them anyways. I wouldn't even ask that question because most people don't. But that's one of my things about when it comes like to sex offenders. I mean, I could walk up to you at a con, give you a kiss on the cheek, and that would get me on the sex registry.
Yeah, I've heard that too. Like, it
So
just depends on the situation.
there yeah, there's situations. I mean, I could be peeing off my back porch and get on the sex registry. Um, not
Well,
that I pee off the back porch,
no.
but
Like a dog.
no, I pee on the tree. Come on.
Well, all I'm saying is that whole experience made me wonder, okay, well, if that guy's a sex offender and he's hanging out with people who don't know and he doesn't tell people, like
Hmm.
they're unaware of like his behavior and stuff, how many other people are sex offenders in the fandom? Cuz I've
Well,
heard a lot of things, but like
so
I
here's
don't
the thing
know.
when it comes, and I'm not even gonna say sex vendors. I'm just gonna talk about
Well, just
predators
yeah,
or
like criminals
yeah,
basically.
the people that are out there to do harm to
Mhm.
other people, including kids. Those people are gonna hide no matter where you're at, what community
Mhm.
you're in. They're everywhere. Those people will go anywhere they can to target kids.
True.
Those people aren't furries. They're nothing. They're just doing what they can to get their next target. They have no business being in the fandom. They have no business going to meets. But unfortunately, how do you tell? You know, I don't normally talk about this. Definitely, even on my YouTube channel, I don't talk about this. But I used to work in a jail, and when I worked there, I dealt with sex offenders that come in. I had to take their photo every so often,
Mhm.
all that. And I'll tell you, you watch TV and you get this like image of what you think a sex offender is, and I'll tell you, you don't know who a bad sex offender is until they're caught and their face is plastered everywhere.
See, that's what freaks me out cuz I'm like it could literally be anybody.
Yeah, so that's like one of the scariest things. But the thing about it is it doesn't matter if you're in the furry fandom going to a meet or if you're just going to the local McDonald's to get something to eat.
True.
Literally, you're gonna run into that. You could run into that person in either spot.
I
Um,
I think what
so
startled me the most about that situation was just how people handled it. Like it didn't
yeah,
really seem like anybody cared or like. didn't
Yeah,
make a
and
decision on it.
there's people out there that defend those people that will defend them till till they run out of breath. And you're gonna run into that too, and it saddens me because there's very few things in this world that I actually hate, and will say I actually hate. And anyone that hurts another person, or definitely anyone that hurts a child, are the two main things that I hate in this world.
Mhm.
Because my past, I was a child that got hurt by an
Mhm.
adult in my life, so I know what it's like to be in that situation. So I have no, I don't feel sorry for anyone that hurts a child and then they get any backlash. They get what they deserve. They hurt that child. They made that decision. They have to deal with those consequences the rest of their life.
Well, and in the fandom specifically, like in my own like Austin Furs group, they've started running like sort of background checks on people that go to meets just for safety reasons because we do have minors that attend this
Yeah,
and
that
some
gets into a legal area doing
yeah,
running background checks.
some people
I
are against that.
I'm not against it. I'm not for it. I just say it's a very risky business there because you're potentially getting people's personal info. Like
True.
very few people in the fandom know my legal name outside the fandom. And
Mhm.
it's not because I have anything to hide, because I don't. It's just I have a well, not me, but my husband has his job in the real world is very well respected, and if they found out he's married to a furry,
Mhm.
that could cause issues with his work.
Yeah, I totally understand.
So that's where I'm like, I- it's a gray area because I work a few different cons as staff, and some of the people that attend those cons, using an example because everybody knows about this one, MFF, they had the insane clown posse or juggalo dude. I can't think of his name off the top of my
Oh,
head.
yeah, yeah. I remember that.
They had him and his daughter there, and he's a famous musician. So
Mhm.
there's a lot of people that attend. Definitely the bigger cons that their lives could change if certain aspects of that got outside in the real world
Mhm.
to their professional careers. So some people just don't care.
Yeah.
So
These are good topics that honestly I think about semi often. I mean, they come up in conversation with other furries sometimes.
yeah, and I'm one of we started out talking about a fursuiter that everybody
Mhm.
was hating on, and now look where we're at.
Yeah.
So I'm all over the place, anyways. But
Well, it's just like that's how my thought process works is like,
same here.
I start with the lighter stuff and then it goes deeper, you know.
Yeah, but no, like I said, with with that, I think there should be. I wish there was a way to make sure that you know, a sex offender doesn't attend a con or something like that. But every state has their own laws. Like
Mhm.
there's some states that particular. I'm not going to say no states because I don't know for sure off the top of my head which ones,
Mhm.
but I do know every state's laws are different. So one state may require if you're going to have a convention like this be checked, and this be checked. Whereas in other states, like, oh, you can't check that. We're not going to allow you to check that. You check that, we will fine you $10,000.
Mhm.
It's just like bringing up another topic that happened with Anthrocon this year. People were talking about the police ushering them out the last day of the con. And I'm not talking about the where supposedly, and I say supposedly because I have yet to see any actual proof. It's just he said, she said stuff.
Mhm.
But supposedly, we're not talking about where the officers supposedly had their hand on the gun when they were ushering them out. I don't know about that. I haven't seen any proof, so I'm not going to talk about that. But I have attended Anthrocon in the past, and the last day, Sunday of the convention, yes, they always, this is not nothing new, they've done this for years. The last day of the con, they get you out of that convention center. Once it's over, shut down, it's done, you're out of the convention center. They push everyone out. They don't care what you're doing. If you're trying to do a video, you're out. That's It's always been that way.
Mhm.
And people are just No, they were doing this. No, they were doing that. No, it's just the way it is.
Going back to the the fursuit that we talked about at the beginning, um, I don't
Yep.
understand people that like totally try to ban everything, or they're very like anti the sex side of the fandom. Like
Hmm.
me personally, I'm not really like, I mean, I'm a demisexual, so I'm not really that kind of person. But I'm all for, people, expressing that side if they're into it, to an extent, obviously.
So I'll the yeah. What I was like, brain not working. So yeah, I agree. People want to ban that side because they don't understand it. Whether me calling them out, maybe they're just not getting any, and they want it. Um,
Yeah.
but no, on a serious note, they want people in the fandom. Like I've been watching it. Like I have a Twitter account,
Mhm.
and I don't post a lot on there
I had to
anymore, like I
leave.
used to. Yeah. Um,
I couldn't
and
handle
the
Twitter mentally.
so I have a Twitter, and literally trying to think of how to word this properly.
Did you
Every Even when Anthrocon released a statement about the one individual they had to actually kick out of the con because they were supposedly being bad. I don't know all the details with that off the top
Mm,
of my head.
mhm.
I was looking at the response from the people that were mad about that person being there. Um, like literally, Anthrocon handled it the best they can do with what is given to them.
Mhm.
And these same people that are crying over this fursuit are on there commenting because it wasn't handled the way they wanted it to.
Mhm.
These people are going to find something to. I hope we're past the 10-minute mark. But
Yeah, we are. We're way past it.
okay, these people are going to find something to bitch about no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And they're never going to be happy. So they're bitching about this fursuit that has nothing wrong with it, while in the same thing, they'll be, if you go look on their Twitter or their Facebook, you will see them out in public and, excuse my language. Well, never mind. I'm not going to say that. You'll just see them out. You'll see them out in public in their fetish gear, but it's okay because it's them. Not There's no kids present.
What's your opinion on that? Cuz I've seen like people wearing pup hoods and stuff at cons.
So the leather pup hood. Okay, I'm going to out myself on a lot of things. So feel free to edit this out. But I am a leather pup, and I'm also an ABDL. I have nothing against people wearing leather pup or little gear out in public within certain regards.
Mhm.
Now I'm not saying go out in your leather gear where you're just in basically underwear and walking around and kids got to see all that. No, that's not okay. But wearing a leather pup hood is no different than wearing a fursuit head.
Mhm.
Little gear, same thing. You can go out in public, and there's little gear you can wear out in public, and no one would ever really know except for other people. Otherwise, it just looks like a childish outfit. But there's certain things you wouldn't want to go out and just wearing that, if that makes sense.
See, some people are even against that, like, which is crazy to me, cuz I'm like, there's nothing, like, as long as it's not explicit, like you said, like a little outfit, but like, it's fine. But some people
Yeah.
are like, "Oh no, what are you doing?"
Well, it's like me. I'll go out wearing, my shortles, which are like overalls that are shorts, and
Mhm.
a onesie. I'll wear that out in public, no problem. But I'm not going to go out in just a diaper or go out in just a jock strap. I'm not going to do that. I mean, that's stupid. That's literally, at that point, it's no longer a lifestyle if you're into it for the lifestyle, not the kink side. It's no longer a lifestyle. It becomes kink if you're going to expose people to your kink, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
while wearing little gear and a pup hood may be considered kink to some people it's a lifestyle. In the pup community, wearing that pup hood is no different than wearing a fursuit. So if you're gonna say you can't wear a pup hood out in public, then you can't wear your fursuit out in public. Sorry, that's the way it's the same thing. Because just like with pup hoods, it has furries have a kink side and then a lifestyle and hobby or whatever you want to call it.
I agree with you. I was just curious, like, what your opinion was on it.
Yeah. Um. So like I said, I have friends that are leather pups. I'm a leather pup. I left the leather pup community a long time ago for other reasons. Um,
Are you still out of
but
the baby fur community?
so interesting topic about that. So I'm still a ABDL. I'm still a baby fur. My reasoning for stepping away from it, like on social media and all that, was because certain people were not respecting boundaries.
I
Um,
remember that live that you mentioned.
Yeah, I was playing. So one night I was playing some games with my in real life brother and my younger sister, who's a minor, and someone joined our party because my brother started the party. So I forgot to have him set it to invite only. My family knows I wear diapers. I mean, I wear them for a medical reason. You know, it's
Mhm.
not just because I want to. But the thing about it is there's certain things you don't come into a chat and start talking about, definitely when you don't know the other people there. Because in this
Right. Yeah.
situation, it was my actual family. And again, I'm sure they know about my ABDL stuff. Well, I know my mother does because she follows my YouTube channel. Long story behind that. Conversation for another day. But anyways, it's yeah, it to me it's just like there's no you got to have a certain respect. It's like
Mhm.
it's like I know your real name in real life name. I'm pretty sure you know mine, but you don't call me by my real life name, just like I don't
Mm-mm.
ever call you by your in real life name.
Right.
You're Sharky, I'm Alex or Allie. Either one's acceptable for me. Um, so it's just respect, and unfortunately, this fandom is getting far away from respecting one another, and that's where I hate to say it, everything in life goes through its paces and everything comes to an end for a new chapter to open, if that makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, and honestly, I see the fandom becoming that we're getting so divided
Mhm.
from one another that before too much longer, we're going to be seeing people getting banned because of, you know, political beliefs, or banned because of their career choice, or because of who they are, or something like that. We're like, there's people already calling, they want to ban, you know, all cops from cons,
What?
but yeah, that's a new thing
That's a
that's been
thing?
yeah. And it's like I'm sitting
Oh.
here thinking about it, and it's like I know a lot of furries that are cops.
Me too, actually. Like just going to GFM,
We don't say no
like
names. No names.
no, no, I'm not saying any names, but like that's really unfair
Yeah.
that they would do that or
There
want to
there's
do that.
both. Yeah, and what's funny is, so I look at the people that go to these cons that are don't want cops there, and these same people don't understand how many people on staff are cops
Yeah,
at
I
most
mean
of these
that's like saying we don't want any furries who are doctors at conventions.
Oh, well, what's fun? What's even better? So we're gonna go back to the baby fur topic for a second.
Sure.
So it's like there's a lot of people that hate baby furs. Why I don't?
I know. Yeah.
Well, I know why they don't understand the truth. That's why I started my YouTube channel.
Mhm.
But what they don't realize is being staffed for some of the biggest cons in the world. I have learned that most cons, whether it's a big con or a small con, baby furs are the ones running these cons. And what I
Yeah.
mean is like the majority of the people that started the con, that staffed the con,
I remember you
that
saying that. Yeah.
are baby furs. And we've noticed here within the last few years, a lot of poppy furs are coming out about either being baby fur or diaper fur or whatever,
Mhm.
because it's no longer taboo. I started the panel at MFF, the baby fur panel there a few years
Mhm.
ago, and it's easily one of the biggest panels that convention has.
I bet, yeah.
Our very first year, they put us in a room thinking not very many people were going to show up. We had a line out the door, and I'm talking all the way out to the main area. So
Yeah.
second year we're giving you a bigger room. Again, line out the door all the way out, all the way outside of the Hyatt Regency O'Hare. Like literally, people were backed up where the escalators and stuff were.
Can I just say too, I've been to the panel that one year at GFM,
Mhm.
and I really enjoyed it. Like it was probably the best panel I went to that day cuz like I
Well,
don't
we try to mix in information with also just having fun
I
because
I
panel
like
doesn't have to be all learn.
I like how you guys make it approachable. Like you present it in a way that it doesn't make people feel weird about their own, interests, and like they can ask questions, and it's very
Mm,
like open. And like I mean, I heard some stories in that room, about people's personal experiences that I was just like, wow, like you have a lot
mhm.
of courage to share that. So,
Well, it's like for me, I've never would ever in my life dream of being in front of that many people talking about something like that.
mhm.
Let alone never put myself like on YouTube or any of the other things I've done. But being a baby for getting connected with this community, because I'm not gonna lie, when I was, I was probably about 16 or 17 when I even heard of a baby fur, what a baby fur was, or ABDL.
Mhm.
So when I first heard about them, I'm like, ew, no, I don't want nothing to do with those pedophiles. I had the thought process of like everybody else. But when I got to thinking about it, because I'm one of those people that curiosity kills,
Mhm.
I had to stop and I thought about it for days in, days out, thinking about this. I was like, well, I wear diapers for medical reasons. What's the difference? And the process gets in and out of your head so much.
There
And
there
then
is there's a really good side to that community. It is there.
yeah, well, the thing about it is people don't have patience to learn.
Yeah.
They want to assume, they want to judge right now. They want the answer now, 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 now. And that's not going to work because the answer is not always here right now.
Mm.
Sometimes you got to do your own research and look at all the facts. That would be like saying one political party over the others better when really
They're both bad.
they're
they're
both bad and
all
good. If
they're all
they
bad.
It's the yin and yang, chaos theory, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
There's everything. Al Capone, one of the worst mob bosses, or maybe the worst mob boss ever. He started the very first soup kitchen in St. Louis, Missouri. I mean, he did something good. Now, what he was
Mhm.
doing on the weekends to, you know, Dirty Harry or whatever his name was that didn't pay him his money, that's a different story.
Mhm.
But, everyone, there's good and the bad.
Yep.
I except for Hitler. I can't think of anything good
There's
Hitler ever
nothing
did.
good about that.
I think he had something to do with the first U-boat or something. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I can't really think of anything good about Hitler. but
Yeah.
but Al Capone, one of the worst mob bosses ever, started the very first soup kitchen. So there's good and the bad in everything. You just got to find it.
Mhm.
Um,
I,
and
I think they call that Machiavellian when because there's a lot of mob guys in history that they did a lot of good things, like they donated to charity, they opened up organizations, blah blah blah, but they were also doing a lot of illegal shit on the side.
true. Well, I mean, think about it. I'm sorry, and I will definitely say this about politicians. I don't care what side a politician is on. A politician didn't get where they are by being honest and nice and
Nah.
following the rules.
Yeah, you right.
I say this: you can trust the people you can trust on in this world. You can count on one hand and still have fingers left over. Maybe a whole hand, depending on who you are. But no, this it's all like I said, it's all fun and games. The fandom's awesome, but I mean, you're gonna have the negative with the good. I mean, nothing's all. We don't all live in a fool's paradise where or wearing we're not all wearing our rose cut uh, colored glasses. If you know what I mean by that.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, rose-colored glasses is what is an old saying that people would tell tell other people's parents. That's what they see their kids as because in the parents' eyes, their kid's always good. It's an
Hmm.
old saying, goes back long before I was a twinkle in my dad or whatever they call it, mom, whatever.
That's how my parents
Twinkle in my
treat me.
mom or dad's eye or whatever.
Yeah, my parents think I'm like I'm perfect and I do everything that they ask of me, and I'm just like, you don't know half of the stuff I do when you're not around.
I'm just gonna say it like this: I don't know of anything bad you've ever done, but you're a
Well,
very,
it's not
very
bad
nice.
stuff. I didn't say it was bad stuff. I just said it was
Ah,
stuff that they wouldn't approve of.
oh yeah, but what I was gonna say is you're a very nice lady, and I have met you in person. I love hanging out with you in VR chat and in person. But you know what they say? The good ones are always the worst.
Yeah, behind closed doors.
She beats me, guys. She beats me. No, she doesn't.
Oh man. Well, we're just about at our 1 hour mark. Is there anything else you wanted to share?
I can't think of anything. I definitely do look forward to doing these again in the future, and hopefully,
Definitely. Yeah. This was a lot of fun.
yeah, have to bring you back on VRC sometime. Have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll be fun. But yeah, you're welcome back anytime.
Well, anytime. Like I said, it's the first time I ever did a podcast. So if anybody has any complaints about me, I'm sorry. This is the first time I've ever done this. If it wasn't, you guys don't know, but at the beginning we did have some communication errors because my headset didn't want to work. So yeah, I'm not the most tech savvy person.
If you want to check out Alex's channel, I will leave a link in the description box for anybody who's curious about all the things that he mentioned. um, but yeah, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Have a nice one, guys. Bye.